My good people, good morning.
Good morning.
We are back at it again, and you are not going to believe what we've come into this time.
Yeah, some good stuff.
Some great stuff. It's right up my alley. I'm so excited. Everybody knows my love for history, so today is just about all about history.
Just about. We've got a few other things, and I've got an update on one thing from a previous video that I found out was really good, and I just wanted to let you guys know.
So in our last video, you remember the 2 estate sales. At the first estate sale, we had mentioned we met some really good people. Well, what we didn't tell you is by the end of the day, one of those people that we met had called us, said, "Hey, I've been thinking about this, and I've got some stuff that you may be interested in."
Yeah.
So we ended up meeting up with him. We went to his house first, did some digging through his stuff, and he said, "After talking with y'all, you need to come down to my storage building."
Yeah, because the stuff that we were mentioning to him, he's like, "Oh, I've got some," and it was literally not even a mile up the road to the storage unit. So
a little bit of everything. So in between the estate sales that we went to, we had a little bit of time to kill, so we went back to our favorite little honey hole, Mom. A honey hole.
We have a studio audience today. She's being really quiet.
She's trying to be quiet. So we went back to the Habitat Restore. You guys know that we love that place. So we took Brad and Marcy. Brad and Marcy had never been. So again, in between the timing, we wanted to introduce Brad and Marcy to the Restore. So we did.
And I think they fell in love with it. It is. It's one of the best ones I've ever seen.
Rumor has it Brad's already been back.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, as I said earlier, my love for history, when we started talking about that with Gary, he's like, "Come on down to the storage building. I've got some stuff you're going to be interested in." So I'm going to pan around just to show you. This was a bulk buy. It's a small bulk, but nonetheless, it is bulk.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't look like our normal bulk that we show you guys, but we'll explain the differences and why this is. I mean, like I'm in heaven right now. So
this is some really good stuff and very, very old stuff.
So let me show you what we got here. Hang on. So y'all heard me talk a million times about my love for images, primarily Civil War images or anything in that date range, and y'all heard me talk about my love for documents. So everything we got from Mr. Gary is in the 1800s time frame to about early 1900s, and then we come up with a few little extra goodies that we'll talk about. But Christy's also, in her visit to the Restore, picked up just a couple things this time.
Yeah, we picked up 2 things, but 2 good things, I thought.
So we'll probably split this up just a little bit. Let her talk a little bit, let me talk a little bit. So I'm going to let her go first.
Okay. Probably, let's see. This was one of the best things I thought. And what I like about this haul is that this is more antique. It's just it's old. This is old stuff. Yeah. I mean, one of these things you just, before we started recording, you said 122
years old.
Yeah, I mean, this is really good stuff. This was something that the guy brought up to us, and he said, "I really want you to have this. It's a Copenhagen. It's a trading card." So this is pretty valuable. I would say that this probably, it's got some issues on the back, but because of when Copenhagen, when it came about and when they started advertising for it, this would probably bring, I would say, $150 to $250. I mean, it's just depending on what somebody's willing to pay, but this is a really good trading card. I've came across a lot of trading cards, but none like this one. Yeah. So that's a really good one.
And he told us after we made this buy, he said that Copenhagen advertisement will pay for your entire lot. So he knew where we were going with this. He knew we were resellers. So
yeah. I'll talk about a couple more things. This is like a credit book where you would pay your bills. This one is from, it says Askew Brothers General Merchandise. It's from Harrodsville, North Carolina, which I've never heard of. But anyway, it's got different dollar amounts on each one, and you would tear out your coupon to pay your bills. But I think I would maybe split these up and sell these for maybe $25 a piece.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty good. Not bad at all. Here's some it says colonial and revolutionary currency. These are reproductions, but they've got them to where they've made them and aged them like antique paper, antique money. And here's another one. They're just really cool. They're vintage. Obviously, they're reproductions, but still really cool. And collectors do like this kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, and as far as the collecting world goes, that's right up my alley. I mean, that's stuff that I've acquired over the years. Like I would have an authentic period document from the Revolutionary War. I've had plenty of those. So the reproduction's fine. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's neat. It's a reminder of the history long forgotten.
Yeah.
So talk about a couple of these images real quick, just to give everybody a little bit of a lesson. What I would say is if you're really interested in a deep dive on old period images, that can be a separate video. We can specialize in just having a discussion about images, but
definitely comment. Make a comment below if you want him to dig into these images that he's showing you, because that's right up his alley. That's kind of where he gets a little nerdy.
Oh yeah, so I'm a little bit of a history nerd.
So and they're very neat. So yeah, if that's something you want, definitely make a comment below. So
just a couple things. Images came in various shapes and sizes, which I have a few examples of today. They came in tin. They were produced on glass. And they were produced on paper, so that's obviously historically significant from a date range perspective when you see these. But it's just neat to see the clarity of some of these images that are 150 years old, 120 years old, that kind of thing. So it's pretty amazing to see the image qualities and just how good of condition a lot of these things are in. Glass plate negatives, obviously referred to as ambrotypes for people that don't know. They did an emulsion on glass, but if I can get it to not glare for you because of the lighting, these things are just super clear. I may actually have to just swing my camera around and so I can get the glare off of it. That's a little better. Look at this dude, crystal clear. Look at this grizzly old guy here. Look how clear that image is. Okay, and these are glass plate negatives. Here's a couple tin type images. Here's a mother and her child. What's interesting about these images is you notice they're colorized. So the artist would actually go in there, these are black and white, and they would go in and actually hand paint the colors on there. So super cool to know how that was produced. I've got a good one there we'll talk about later. But this is a unique one right here. So this is also a tin type, super clear. Clarity on it's great. I know you're gonna see a reflection in my camera, but look at the lady's face. So that's kind of unusual that you would see somebody with eyesight problems, I would say.
Yeah.
So she's actually cross-eyed, which is very unique. You don't see a lot of images with that going on. I'm going to dig a little deeper into that one. Pretty cool. So one of the reasons I made this purchase with all of these images, I know a lot of my image collecting buddies will be watching this, but we normally go after and seek just military images from the Civil War. I obviously don't have any of those here, but I do like saving the history, so that was the reason I decided to do this. But the main reason is there's some very unique cases. In particular, like some of these cases will actually sell more than the images will. So this is
because some of them are really rare, right?
Yeah, this is a very rare one here. You don't see it a lot. So this is actually called a book style case. So if you look at it, it looks like a book. So when you open her up, it's a standard frame and mat, very unique. But on the outside of this one, it's got pearl inlays on it. So just the craftsmanship, the attention to detail. I actually wanted to make this purchase for a lot of these cases because they're so rare. I've got another one here. When I showed you the grizzled old guy here, if I can get it, yeah, there you go. Look at the stars on the frame, on the mat.
Yeah.
So we can actually date this image per that frame. That's a very, very rare mat, as they call it. Got the stars on it. I've sent this thing to a couple of my image buddies that I talked to. There is some consensus on this image just by the date of that frame and the clothes that this guy's wearing, that he is a possible Revolutionary War veteran. He could date to that time period where he actually fought in the Revolutionary War. So there's nothing to authenticate that, but just in the date range, this guy's pretty unique.
Yeah, just based on their clothing, what they're wearing, and what they would be wearing at that time, I guess.
And what I'll try to do is when I edit this video, I'll actually put up some still images of this guy so you can see the grizzled, gnarly look on his face. And the reason we'll say it that way is a lot of times you'll see a 4-year image before and after the war of a person. You can just tell he's fought a good fight. So we're thinking he's possible a Revolutionary War veteran.
Yeah. They can look really rough after a short period of time. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
It was a rough time back then, and they went through a lot of hard times.
So just a couple more things on the images. You see the shapes and sizes that we were talking about. I talked about glass plate negatives and tin types. I didn't mention the paper ones. So CDVs, they're famously known for. This is a great image right here. The details on this girl are outstanding, but anytime you can get one identified, and if I can get it where it don't glare, I'll take some pictures and pop this up. But listen to this, and I'm spinning the camera for you here, but this is Mary Hancock, and she was age 13, September 10th, 1861. So I mean, that just gets me going right there. So when I've got an ID and I know I can tell somebody who this is, but this is a fantastic Victorian type print. I just absolutely love it. I mean, I would.
I love this background. I mean, the detail in this background. Yeah. I mean,
it may actually be one of my favorite images that we acquired, but I'm gonna turn her kind of sideways so it don't glare. But look at the details of that, folks. This is 1861, and the image quality on that is just outstanding. So when I go to get pictures of her, I'll have some zoomed in shots so you can see details and all that.
Yeah.
So all right, good. I'm gonna go down a history rabbit hole here, so you better talk about some other stuff here.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, this is history too.
Yeah.
Some of the paper that I picked up, which I love old paper, and this is it's from a Weed and Company hardware. It's just a receipt. There's a couple of them.
So what's cool about this is, from a historical aspect, right? This is how we did business, folks.
Yeah.
So if you take a look at this, somebody made a purchase. We didn't have computers, so they had to document it somehow. And then if you go looking at the prices, it's crazy.
30 cents.
Yeah, it's crazy the prices that people paid for stuff back then. And obviously they didn't make as much as we do today. But all in all, it's probably a wash on how much it actually costs for what you made.
Turn this back around. Look at this penmanship.
Yeah, I love the documentation and the penmanship. Hopefully you can see that. We'll snap some shots. We'll do some steals so you can see it.
So the date on the paper.
Yeah, so this is April 11th of 1900.
Yeah, but on the actual paper it says 18.
Yeah, so what they did, instead of wasting paper, so this weed company was established in 1818. So I guess every year, like through the 1800s, all they would do, it actually says 1890s. So all through the 90s, they would actually just put the year that it was with a single digit. Obviously, he had leftovers, and you're not going to waste it, so he just scratched out 1890 and put 1900. He wrote. So just really, really cool. Signifies we can look up this Weed and Company hardware store. We can get the historical significance of it. And it's even stamped July of 1900 as well. So it's interesting that he's got April 11th up on top, but I guess it was paid in full in July.
In July, yeah. So yeah,
really
would
be my guess.
Also, another old piece. This is from an attorney's office. And in the corner it says, I think this one is 1889 in the corner, and it's a letter.
So as far as the documentations go, this is probably our favorite.
Yeah, I really
because
like
it
this
is a
one.
grouping. You have the envelope, tells who it is, where it came from, and you can see here this guy was an attorney. But check out the penmanship. I mean, this is what we geek out about when we get into documents and we get into saving history, is just how we conducted business.
Yeah.
The attention to details that we went into in that time frame, just fantastic. I mean, this is good stuff.
Yeah, and he's talking about a judge and kind of what he was doing for this particular client, and his signature.
Yep.
Just really neat. So yeah, that's very nice, and to have the envelope with it too, very good.
Yeah, this is a good one.
All right, so when we were going through the storage unit, he had only a couple of bottles, but I was interested in those. We've sold a lot of bottles and made a lot of money. These are druggist bottles. This says FW Kinsman, Augusta, Maine.
And we haven't even looked these up yet.
No, haven't looked these up at all. It's got a blue tint to it, little aqua tint. Not a heavy tint to it, but just really neat. And then this one, just a small little bottle. This one says Pensacola, Florida. Depot Drugstore. Just really neat. It's got like an embossed.
Yeah, so anytime we get into the glass products, I mean, I love the old corker style. So there was a cork that sat in the top of this. So that was back before the days of screw tops.
Right, and had all their medicines
and how to seal it, you seal it with a cork.
Yep, had their medicines and that stuff. I got a stack of postcards too. I haven't looked these up, haven't done anything with these, but these are just, it says on the back, masterpiece, the art auction game. Anyway, it's just like art institute type postcards, Picasso. There's just all kinds of art images on here, on these postcards. Haven't looked them up. Don't know the date on these, but yeah, just some neat postcards that he had, and I grabbed them because when we're doing a bulk deal like that, might as well grab some stuff that you're really interested in and just put it all together and see what kind of deal you can make.
My guess those are from the early 1900s or some
I would
variety.
think so too. So yeah, just lots of art pieces that are kind of well known. So I grabbed those.
All right, I'm going to give a little bit more of a history lesson as we talked about glass plate negatives. Okay, I'm going to go back to this guy because he's crystal clear. And I'm hoping I can do this for you because these are significant to IDing. Look at the image when I hold it up to the light.
Turns red.
You see what color it turns? It turns red. So we instantly know not only is this an ambrotype, this is known as a ruby ambrotype, and it's the type of glass that it's on. So a little bit better value, not significant, but these were in a group, and I'm assuming because these three were all together. I don't know if you can see her, but there's Mama. Okay, and then here is.
Oh, I love this one. Look at his little cheeks.
So a lot of times, and I don't know if you can see it without a glare, but there you go. I'll get you some still images. But this little dude here, let me get where I can see it. Okay, he's in a Civil War uniform. You saw a lot of these where the kids would dress up like their fathers. So I'm kind of assuming this guy looks a little bit too young when you look at him compared to Mama over here. So I'm assuming this is her two sons, but the youngest one's dressed up like his dad, who's probably off to war.
Yeah.
So I'll probably keep these grouped together and sell them as a group.
Because we do think that they're family.
Yeah, that's the way it came to me. So I'm gonna try to keep them together if I can. And then just one more. This one's tiny. This is one of the smaller ones that you'll ever find. So this is a 16th plate, but I'm gonna try to get it where you can see these guys, and I'll pop an image up so you can see it better.
Yeah.
The image quality is not great. That emulsion's gotten rubbed on over the years, so it's starting to lose the quality. It's not clear like these other ones are, but it's three soldiers. It looks like post-Civil War to me. Just judging by some of the medals and stuff, it looks like they've got some guard reunion badges on. I'll have to get it scanned and zoom in on it. Do a little deeper dive on that. But so again, just remember these things came in various print types as far as glass or tin or paper, and they came in just infinite number of sizes. So each one of those factors into the price of these things, and what really makes good content is where your price starts going up. You can make a lot of money on these things if you do your research and do your homework, and you'll have a diamond in the rough without realizing it. Some of the best purchases we've ever found on eBay, it'll say old man photo. He's in a military uniform.
Yeah, and if you know what you're looking for, then you can really snap up a good image, and if you want to sell it, you can make quite a bit of money.
So I think overall for this one lot buy, we're extremely happy.
Oh yeah.
We paid $250 for this lot
with the paper,
with all of the paper and all of the images. So that gives me quite a bit of room on these images. Mm-hmm. So I have some cases that are worth $50 just for the case. So
yeah.
Again, not the best images that you could have bought, but also I feel like I've got a few diamonds in the rough with some of these cases and some of the content. We should be able to recoup money pretty quickly on these things. Images do sell at a pretty good sell-through rate.
And too, knowing who to market to, because some of them, if they have a better background, there's certain people that collect backgrounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, just knowing a little bit more about them.
Yeah, and I'm pretty well connected in the Civil War community online. I used to do shows, had our own Civil War website where we sold and traded on, and of course we attended shows. So I've networked for 25 years with all of those guys, and if I find a really rare one, you'll never see it on eBay because it'll get going to the collector pretty quick. Yeah. I can sell it away from eBay within a matter of minutes.
Oh yeah, literally. So do you want me to?
Yeah, let's go to the restore.
I think I'm going to talk about the two things. I only picked up two things that day, but really what we were doing that day is kind of showing our friends.
And basically killing time.
Yeah, I think they were a little bit skeptical about this restore because they'd been to so many other ones before, and we kept saying, no, this one's different. This one's different. You need to go to this one. And so we were just kind of helping them get familiar with this particular one because it's just a lot different than any of the other ones we've been to. And I only grabbed a couple of things that day. And this is just, it's nothing major. It is from Japan. It's got the label on it and it says Lego Japan. And it's like a ceramic, almost like a terracotta base to her. But anyway, just a bell. But she is adorable.
And unusually, we don't generally buy a lot of bells.
No. But if I see one that I think is just really cute.
This one's got a lot of detail in it.
You know, we spent very, very little at this restore. I think we spent $17.
$17 total at the restore.
Maybe it was less than that. I think no, because this was $9.
Yeah.
Maybe it was $12. But anyway, yeah, because we only got a couple things. So yeah, but I thought she was so cute. And I sell bells rarely, but I mean, when I do sell them, I'd say $25 for her.
Yeah, I think she's a good one. So
yeah, she's a good one. So and then
this is the home run, folks.
Yeah, this one, this was sitting just out on a shelf, no big deal. But this nativity, and
I'll let you talk. I can hold it.
Yeah. So this nativity, we found this. This was $9, and I always look at these because I know this baby Jesus here, I've seen him separate before, and I know he's Italian. I know it to be Fontanini, and so this would bring quite a bit of money. I would hundreds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and with all the pieces, I try to make sure when I pick up these nativities, you got to look real good. You
no
got
chips,
you got to make sure that baby Jesus is there because I mean sometimes he's not. Then I always look for Mary and Joseph. If the wise men aren't there, I mean, I don't really like to pick it up, but I will. But you kind of want to, they're all there. Yeah. You got some little animals in there, so I don't know. But like I said, I mean, this could, with Christmas coming, I mean, I'm gonna say $200 to maybe $400. We'll say $400.
Yeah, at least we've seen them going higher. I mean, we know baby Jesus alone. He's been on there for $400 or $500 just by himself.
So it just depends. But you just don't know. I mean, it's whatever somebody wants to pay you for it, but I do know that this is a really good collection right here of
For $9.
yeah, for $9.
Yeah, that's
So-
that's a bolo item.
Yeah.
It looks like just a nativity scene to the naked eye. So do your homework.
Yeah.
Find out who your artists
And
are.
definitely keep an eye out for Fontanini. And if you
Yep.
don't know that, look it up so you can get familiar with it. You know, that's something that you,
You
really
can
want to.
generally spot it right out of the gate.
Once you know it.
Once you know
Once
it,
you know
you'll
it,
see
yeah.
it and say, I know exactly what that is.
Yeah. You want me to go ahead and talk about these from the.
Yeah, so this is our last video, our last haul video from the 2 estate sales.
Yeah, and I kind of blew over this and kind of briefly mentioned it because I've picked up these little rabbit figurines before, and I'm going to pick up the camera and show you in just a second. But and I've sold some of these that are made in Japan for $30, $35
Yeah.
something like that. Usually is the case.
And that's what we said in our video,
Yeah,
about 35 bucks.
without even looking
Yeah.
it up because we sometimes we go on our gut. I mean, I
You
knew
wanna
they're
just-
good.
You want to just grab one and bring it over
Well,
here?
I'm gonna turn it around, and show 'em. But a lot of times we just go based on our gut, what we like, what we feel like we'll sell, and that sort of thing. So, but these were in the last video. It's like a little family. It's got the mom, and she's got all her little babies.
They're all doing something different.
Yeah, they're all different, and they got the big eyes. And I'm gonna pick one up, and I'm gonna show you the tag that kind of clued me in.
Yeah, because originally we saw made in Japan.
Yeah, which I saw that one. And they have another tag on them. And of course I've picked up the one that don't have it. But
There it is.
there it is. So it's got the Japan, on the foot, which I saw. And then on the leg it says Joseph Originals. Okay, so whenever I looked up Joseph Originals, he has a few things that like there's ladies, like little lady figurines that sell $500, $800.
Yeah.
Now I did see some rabbits, but usually it's like one rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a family like this, nowhere near it. They had a family of, I think it was mice,
Mm-hmm.
that was on up there like $300 or $400. So this family of rabbits, I will definitely list for, I would say $500. Only
Yeah.
one of them has kind of what I
One-
would say
one nick.
a real issue, and it's just a nick on his little flower there on the corner. So, but
These are in good shape.
good gosh, I showed Scott one of the ladies' figurines. The head fell off, and
Yeah.
it's for $500.
Yeah, they
so,
sold it in 2 pieces with the head detached.
Yeah,
$500.
So I think maybe somebody thought they would repair it or whatever, but $500 for something that's broken, I don't know.
So if we happen to drop one of these and the head falls
It's
off,
fine.
we're selling it at Halloween for the Headless Horseman.
It's fine. But yeah, I was a little bit surprised on those. I liked them because I like the big eyes. I like, and I even use the word kitschy because it's got that kind of, I don't know, just really cutesy look to it.
Yep.
So, yeah, really like those. And just knowing that they ended up being worth more, that was great. So I did want to update you guys on that.
Yeah. So we've got several more things that we could cover. I don't know if you want to cover.
Well, we've gone into some of these photos.
Yeah.
What is that right there in that?
Yeah, this is cool. This came kind of in the haul. I'm like, what in the world? So I started doing some research on this, and you notice it's just got the eagle in the middle of it. Kind of hard to figure out what it was, but this
Yeah.
is actually a Masonic badge. So the Templar Knights, for any of you that get caught up in the history of Templar Knights and the Masonics, there's a lot of history on that. And you can go down some rabbit holes.
Yeah, for
Christy
sure.
loves it. They freak her out sometimes.
Yeah, I don't quite
So-
understand the history on it, but
But I think this was a pretty good pickup. I've seen them online. They're going for around $40. So I'll say $25 to $40 somewhere. This guy's gonna get listed. He's in real good shape. Not much wear at all. So just to be part of the bundle, that's a good pickup. And I did have some. What I didn't have, I forgot to bring them in here. But there's some military pins from World War I. I've been doing my research on those, so
Yeah,
they're in the
so
research pile right now. But I've got maybe 10 or 15 U.S. World War I pins and going from $25 to $50 per pin. So
Yeah.
for a $250 haul,
Yeah, it's not bad.
this is good.
Yeah. We could really nerd out and go down this whole antique paper images rabbit hole. So,
Can I nerd out one more time?
yes.
Can I just go ahead and nerd out?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna throw the camera around for you. I'm gonna get on my final image. I don't want you to let this thing go without seeing him. So this guy came way of the bundle, right? And nothing to see. He's not military, but the collector that had these did a pretty good job of detailing who they were, what they were, how they were. So I've been doing my research on this guy. So this is an actual ID'd image, and this is good, even though he's in a civilian uniform. There's a couple things to look, but the guy's name is John Harrington. What's cool about Mr. John, he served in the 37th North Carolina Infantry for the Civil War out of Alexander County. What's cool about that is we can quickly go to the database and ID this guy.
Yeah.
So at 49 years old, he decided he was going to fight for the cause for North Carolina.
Oh, gosh.
So the bad part is he was injured in battle. He lost his left leg. So in this particular image with this ID, I can confirm that this is pre-Civil War. How do I know that? Because he's got both legs. So this was probably just a general civilian photo at the time. He probably didn't ever think he was going into war or anything like that.
Yeah.
But he's not in uniform. But I got to tell you, there's a ton of North Carolina collectors that love stuff like this, myself included.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of North Carolina military photos. So I think this one, to me, whether I sell him or whether I keep this guy, it'll depend on probably the money that we make off of this lot. But this is a quarter plate image, which is one of the larger ones. They're hard to find these days, so obviously the nerd in me says I need to keep this guy. So, but we'll see. I mean, it's a good pickup. I love the history. I love looking up the data, and this one, with us being in North Carolina, this one holds a special place, right? So just because he's from North Carolina and from local counties around us, so I thought we'd share him with you.
Yeah. I think we can stop there, but like I said,
Yeah, if you want deep dives,
yeah, just let us know.
if you want to learn more about
Because we can go there.
paper, the penmanship, the images, how they were made, what their date ranges are. There's several different types. I didn't mention daguerreotypes earlier, only because I don't have any here. So we can do special videos just for that if you're interested. Make sure to comment.
Yes.
Tell us that you're interested, and that'll help us drive our channel with content that you want to see.
Yeah, and what else do we need?
We need subscribers.
We need subscribers. We're really trying to grow our channel. If you've considered it, please consider again.
Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
See right here in the corner of this video.
Yeah.
There's a little subscribe button.
Yeah.
Click on it. Hit it. Pound
it's
it.
Free. It's free. We'll never send you anything. It's not like we're going to hound you with
Unless
anything.
it's a free gift.
Yeah, we might. You never know. Hey, we might do another giveaway.
Yeah. So just coming from the small business world, owning your own business, this channel is important to us.
Oh, yeah.
And the only way we get monetized eventually, hopefully, one day, is to have the subscribers and have the watch hours. Right now, we have plenty of watch hours, but we're not getting subscribers.
We really do enjoy doing the
fun.
videos, and we want to be able to continue, and that's the whole thing.
Everybody tells us y'all are naturals on camera. We don't want to do videos to just do videos. We do enjoy it. We have a lot of fun, but we want to make it. We want to make it videos and make it a channel that you guys want to come to and want to watch content. So tell us what content you're interested in. Yeah. That way, when we're out picking, if we run across it, we'll grab it and then we'll go down rabbit holes.
And we'll
with
talk about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
We can only beg for it for so long.
I know.
So.
I know. So, all right.
We appreciate everybody tuning in. This is a cool haul. So hope you enjoy it, and we'll be back with you.
We'll see you next time.
Later.